From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big midday here, live and direct from Santa Monica, California, with your fourth stimulus check update of 2022. In this recording of Home LALATE, direct from Santa Monica, we go over the incredible money in this incredible recon that'll pay you out lots of checks. If you're watching it live at 11 a.m., it's home, and if you're watching at 7 o'clock, it's home street and stimulus. In today's recording, we go over all the incredible money that is in the recon and how it gets to the finish line. And a new push underway to get checks out sooner rather than later. You're only going to hear it on this channel. We're going to go over all the details today on Home. The big money with a House passage of a recon now in the Senate, and the Senate changes that'll add more checks on top of the existing checks that has at least $15,000 of them. The big push to add additional checks across the board. What are those checks? I'll explain the latest details on Home. Plus, the MSC, the push to add that in there on top of third stimulus with $45,000. The latest on student loan debt forgiveness and fifth stimulus across the board. Breaking details and the latest on Vladimir Putin and what you need to know about inflation. The Federal Reserve, it's all brand new at Home. But as you know, Home always has a theme, and in today's episode, we go over a new theme, which is Read My Lips, More Stimulus. Read My Lips, More Stimulus. And in this recording, we're going to go over how to choose the right lip addition to your repertoire. You haven't seen on this channel for a while. We haven't had the IG lip service. We're going to go over that as well. Plus, how to buy incredible watches for dollars on end. And I'm going to show you how to buy a gorgeous watch that may be less than $10. It's all happening. It's all right now because this is Home LALATE. And here we go with perfect audio. This is, I talked too soon. It is a big afternoon, and the excitement is right here, right now, as afternoon and Home LA heats up with that incredible recon of money across the board. I'm going to go over the latest details of how you get that big sums of money in this incredible recon. The push underway to add additional checks, it's all here, and it's all right with you across the board. We're going to go over the latest details of what you know and need to know about these incredible checks in this recon, all those details and more, as a big Home edition of LA heats up direct from Santa Monica. It's exciting, and it's here, and it's all across the board. This is LA. But what do you need to know about this incredible recon? Well, what you need to know is a lot across the board. And the excitement starts right now. The incredible recon has so many checks across the board. At issue is the big money and how they get it out the door. I'll have all those details in today's recording. Boy, it's a lot of dust to get through. I'm going to go over each of the incredible checks one at a time with the details that is happening with this recon that is passed in the House, now sent to the Senate. The incredible checks that you need to know and everything across the board happening. The audio has cleared up, so we are ready to rock and roll. Tried all my tricks of the trade to get it cleared up, and the audio has fixed itself. The checks has 3 clusters and 3 add-ons. Let's go over each of those with $15,000 of checks. And first cluster, here we go. Hazard pay got in there in that first cluster with the incredible elder care. $4,000 of elder care, $4,000 of care for young children. They got the hazard pay, the earned income tax credit for 1 more year, the Pell Grant $550 check, the money to repair the home got in there as well. That is incredible deliciousness. Then they got in there a lot of other checks, but we're going to turn to the first add-on. And that first add-on comes from the illustrious Maxine Waters. She wanted to give you money for the purchase of your first home. She got it in there, $25,000, just a little bit less. Again, this is money given from the federal government to the seller in your name at the time of escrow. It is incredible. Let's turn to the now second cluster of checks, and we continue to heat up. This is where more checks are coming across the board. This, of course, is the Build Back Better Act. The Build Back Better Act passed in the House in the month of November, now in the Senate. Let's go to that second cluster of checks. Here we go. Home repairs and paid leave. How much is this? A lot of money. It is $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. It is $35,000 annual salary, $800 a week. If your annual salary is $15,000 or less per year, it is $400 a week. How many weeks per year? Up to 4 weeks per year. Wow. $5,000 to $6,000 on the high end for that paid leave, which is every time you have to take home from work due to sickness or illness. There you go. Now, if you don't work and your son or daughter does work, they're going to get the check every time they have to take off from work to take care of you. Let's go to the second add-on of checks, $250 billion from the incredible Bob Casey. He is a senator out of Pennsylvania. He got that incredible money in there, and his free home health care for seniors and people on disabilities. Wow. It was a campaign promise by Joe Biden, got that provision in there. Let's go to now the third cluster of checks. This is where we find true deliciousness. In that third cluster, we have in there the seniors and free internet, and then money for independent contractors, money for farmers, free school meals for all checks, and then seniors, 2 benefits on the House, 3 coming from the Senate. On the House side, they got in there the Medicaid gap fix and also the hearing. But the senators vowed to add in there 3 other provisions, which are lowering the eligibility age of Medicare, dental, and also vision, which is par for the course of what we're talking about, this incredible recon. Senators adding provisions to that recon. Let's go over all those checks that they're going to add in there, and starting with the important one, the MSC. What is an MSC? Who gets it? What is the eligibility? When would it happen? What does it mean? And how do you qualify for it? I'm going to go over all those incredible details starting right now. MSC is a program to be added to the Recon, Build Back Better Act, BBB, the House bill. And the Recon MSC would stand for multiple IRS stimulus checks, differentiated from the other checks in that Recon, which are multiple checks. There are multiple checks in this recon. I'm paying you about $60,000. MSC is a check that goes out from IRS. All right, so who would get it? The legislators have told tens of thousands of viewers this channel since May of last year that the eligibility would be the same as a third stimulus check. Single individual, $75,000 less, gets it. Married couple, $150,000 less annual income, you get as well, double it. Family of 4, you would get it, quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, relevant benefits, you would get as well. It's not income, it's not taxable. It's offered nationwide, not on a state-by-state basis. And then how much? How many checks and how much are the quantities? The legislators have told tens of thousands of viewers of this channel it would be $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter, running for 6 months. And there you go. Now, that's the Build Back Better Act, a body of legislation passed in the House and now in the Senate that would go to a Senate subcommittee, modify it, then go for a Senate vote, and then going to a 2-day vote-a-rama and voted on that. That provision MSC could be added in there. But last Saturday, this channel brought back to this channel a big talking point of 2020 to advocate for the inclusion of the MSC into something earlier, and that is what we're going to go over right now. CR for stimulus. Let's understand what it means and the equation and why the viewership of this channel have been so good on advocating for it and other provisions that may work additionally as well. In 2020, we were ending first stimulus under the Trump administration in summer of that year and getting ready for second stimulus. The negotiators, Nancy Pelosi on behalf of the Democrats, and also on behalf of the Republicans, then Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. Negotiations continued in summer of 2020, then fall, then winter, and the negotiations weren't going anywhere. Moreover, there wasn't a deadline. So I sat back one night, I said, you know what? We need to do something else. Because second stimulus wasn't going to a finish line, there was no deadline, and there was no imminent threat to getting it done. So I looked around and I immediately found something, a budget bill. What is a budget bill? Every 6 approximately months, the federal government has to pass a budget bill which funds the federal government, funds the national parks, funds the operation of the federal buildings, It's called the continuing resolution generally. And generally, they don't have to, they can't roll it over many days or weeks because the federal government will shut down. So it has an imminent deadline, a deadline they have to follow. So I thought the idea, why not put a stimulus check into the continuing resolution? Because it has a deadline. Nancy and Steve couldn't wander on this any longer. So I thought about the idea, but let's put a stimulus check in the CR. And I started the campaign on this channel with one recording coming up with a creation. A stimulus check in a continuing resolution. No one thought it would be possible. But I prepared accordingly before I made the first recording because I knew what the naysayers was going to say, and I knew what the supporters of the Purple Power were going to say. Purple Power was going to like it because it was a way to get a check out sooner with a deadline. And I also knew what the naysayers were going to say. And as soon as I made the first recording, here's the idea. Why did I put a stimulus check in the CR? The naysayers were ready with exactly what I thought they were going to say. Doesn't belong in there. Doesn't belong in there. What's the there? The continuing resolution. Why? Because it's a budget bill to fund the federal government. It's money for the federal government. It's not money for the American citizens. But I was ready for my answer. Who cares? And you're right, it doesn't belong in there. Who cares? Federal government is notorious for passing bodies of legislation where they insert money in something that doesn't belong in the bill. They've been doing it since the beginning of time, and they were doing it during the pandemic. COVID relief bills were consistently being passed where they're sending money to foreign governments to run their military. It has nothing to do with COVID. To fund a new FBI building, nothing to do with COVID. To fund money for the Department of Copyrights, nothing to do with COVID. So I said insert the stimulus check in there because it doesn't have anything to do with running the federal government, but we deserve it. And it worked. We woke up one morning in the month of December and suddenly the legislature said, we're putting stimulus into the CR. We looked and they said it is extension of unemployment benefits. We said, no, that's not what we asked. We asked for a stimulus check. We pushed back and we got it done. It was a creation I created on this channel. We made history on this channel. That became America's $600 second stimulus check that was paid for in a continuing resolution. And it was never paid for from a second stimulus package because the second stimulus package never got to the finish line. And last Saturday, I said, you know what? It looks sort of familiar. It looked, in fact, exactly the same. For stimulus, the very first recording ever made about fourth stimulus on the internet was made by me. Everyone else was talking about third stimulus. I was going forward, talking about fourth stimulus. And I think the recording was as early as February 2021. I said, here is what it is, and this is what's at issue. Came July, didn't become law. Come fall of 2020, didn't become law. December 2021, didn't become law. Negotiators this time, Joe and Joe. Joe Manchin, Joe Biden, did not become law. Look familiar? It is. Several months of passing, not law. Negotiations continuing, not law. So last Saturday, I looked at a deadline, and a deadline was looming, is looming. January, February 2022. The deadline of February 22, 2022 is for another continuing resolution. So I said, why not put a stimulus check into this continuing resolution? CR for stimulus. If you're in the live chat right now, write the hashtag C Charles R Robert, the number 4 stimulus altogether. The advocacy worked. I said to viewers, do you like the idea? They love the idea. 1, a deadline. 2, a check. 3, not throwing out the fourth stimulus recon, just saying when you get to it, you can send out all that massive sums of money, $60,000. This just add a check in there and get it out the door. And what I love about the viewership of this channel is that they've now taken it up a notch. A lot of people have also talked about other items they can get into, quicker relief out the door before waiting for the big fourth stimulus, which will become law, but not waiting any longer. It's absolutely incredible. So with that, that is where we are right now. The fourth stimulus recon itself will get passed. The President of the United States in the last 7 days has had his spokesperson, Andrew Bates, saying the fourth stimulus recon will be passed. Chuck Schumer has said he's going to go for a vote again. He said that in the last few days. And Bernie Sanders is very excited about the last 7 days because they're now calling things for vote in the Senate, whether they're going to pass or not going to pass. And that tees up why to get things passed. Meantime, fourth stimulus recon has a lot of money in there, not just third stimulus, not just $15,000, not just MSE, but a lot of other money. And they can add more money because the event in which they're adding more money Has not occurred yet. That is the Senate voting process. That's a Senate bill. We don't have a Senate bill. So it's important to advocate across the board for money in this recon. And who do you advocate to? You pick up the phone and advocate to those 6 senators to tell them why you need this money in the recon. And those senators you want to advocate to are the following senators. You want to pick up the phone and advocate to Casey, Coons, Warren, Wyden, Sanders, and Schumer once a week, telling them what you want in the recon and what provisions you need to add in there. When you speak to the staff, tell them what you want in there. Don't ask about the there, because the there doesn't exist yet. And when you speak to the staff, make note of who you spoke to, because you're going to call back in probably about another week from now and say, hey, it's me again. I want to advocate to you why I still need that money in there. In the second half of this video, we're going to turn to what Home LALATE and home stream stimulus is all about. Beauty, decor, food, eating, Henry VIII type stuff. Lots of deliciousness, whether it's a zucchini boat or it is a panettone. But in today's recording, we got a lot of hilariousness. We're going to go over something we haven't covered before. It's called Read My Stimulus. Read My Stimulus. We're going to go over something we haven't seen in over a year. The beauty of lip gloss. It used to be a fan favorite. How I go on Instagram live and do my lips before going on air. Well, tonight I'm going to go on air and do it again. But I'm going to show you how to choose the right chapstick. Yeah, I have literally this many chapsticks to go over with you, but I'm not going to go over a single one. I'm going to show you how to choose the right chapstick. Then we're going to change subjects totally from Read My Stimulus to Watch My Stimulus. We're going to go over how to buy a watch for pennies on the dollar from a local store or even online and absolutely kill it across the board. Impress your friends and families with a watch that may cost less than $10. This one did as well. I'm going to show you how to choose the right watch, and I'll show you how to buy it. And you're going to be surprised. You're never going to go to a department store again. You're going to only buy watches $5, $10, at most $15. It's coming up in the second half of this video. We have a lot of fun, and I'll be jumping in the live chat and interacting with you on answering your questions for anything you have across this incredible recon, CR for stimulus, health and beauty, and also calendar calling, watching your stimulus. Those details and more coming up in the second half of this video as Home LALATE continues direct from Santa Monica, California. But first, of course, here's a little bit about the community page if you need assistance for money. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now as Home LALATE and home stream stimulus continues. You know, in the second half, we're going to go over the beauty of how to read my lips. More stimulus. And then we're going to go over something that I saw people already chatting about on the live chat, how to count time or watch for the stimulus landing. First, let's go over the Read My Lips, more stimulus. And it starts with lip gloss. We've been covering teeth, we've been covering skin and beauty and how to deliver great skin and eyes in recent days, but lips was one of the big topics of the channel in 2021. People used to watch me on Instagram before I went live on camera here and do my preparation of lips. I use chapstick before going on camera because it helps in delivering audio, helps prevent the dryness of the mouth. But there's a lot of different lipsticks, excuse me, not lipsticks, chapsticks out there, and each chapstick is quite different across the board. So which ones do we have on set, and why are they different, and how do you choose your chapstick? Now, I'm not being paid for a chapstick for this announcement, and you don't have to use the chapstick brand, but let's go over all of them right now. Chapstick is really good in the last few years in differentiating a 4-pack or a 6-pack based upon a theme. And the theme has been often tropical, sometimes it's dessert. I'm not kidding, it's literally dessert. Or sometimes it's something sort of earthy. Now, what I want you to know is the following, is that they're very, very different in what they deliver to the lips. In this cluster here, we have peaches and cream, we have pink lemonade, sweet watermelon, and then we have a mango mix. Okay, those were generally sold in the same cluster because guess what? They're very sort of light, eerie, tropical. Do they work well? They work really well. I got to tell you, the tropical ones really work well because they really moisturize the lips. They keep it fresh. They're not overwhelming. They don't color the lips, which a lot of guys would ask, do they color the lips? They do not. Even the watermelon does not, the pink lemon watermelon does not color the lips. None of these color the lips. All right. Then they go into the chocolates or the desserts. So they have in the desserts milk chocolate. They have graham cracker. They have white chocolate as well. I've ran out some of them here. Oh, I have one here on set. This one is the graham cracker. The graham cracker, which is a brown. These are mostly browns, and again, it does not color the lips at all. So it does taste like graham cracker, but how different is it? In my opinion, the desserts don't moisturize as well as the tropicals. If you really are in a hot, humid, dry setting, go for the tropicals. The desserts don't do it as much. The desserts are more creamy, I guess you would say. And if you want a real kick in there, go for the tropicals. When choosing your brand or choosing what you're using for your lips as a lip balm, what should you stay away from? This is going to be a little crazy, but I say recommend often to stay away from the reds, whether you're a guy or girl. The reds are problematic. Why? Because the reds, and you'll know it, unfortunately, after you buy it, because a lot of these you don't know if it's red when you open it up. Let me give you an example. Here is pink lemonade. The wrapping is pink, and you open it up, and it's not pink. It's white. The watermelon, you think it's red. I mean, it says red, and it has a picture of watermelon. Watermelon's red. You pick it up, and you until you open it up, you will not know it ain't red. The reds are problematic, and which red would I stay away from? No disrespect to any brand, and this is not referring to any brand. I stay away from all cherries. Cherries are red, and they are a hot mess. First, one, they do color the lips, so it's no bueno. Guys will not like it. It makes your lips look red. Stay away from the reds. Number two, it stains your clothing. It's just insane. If you are like me and keep chapstick in your pants pocket, it stains the pants. Now, the stain will come out in the wash, but I mean, sometimes I caution myself there. I like white jeans. I like a lot of white jeans, and the stain has never come out. So stay away from cherry lip balm. It is a mess, and it doesn't do anyone service. One, it stains. Two, it makes your lips look red. No one wants red lips unless that's your focus point, and most people don't. And number three, it doesn't even do its purpose. It doesn't even moisturize or do anything. Stay away from it. And guess what? You go to the cash register aisle. Cherry is usually right at the front. I don't know why. It is one of the worst products out there. I know I'm always about positivity, but I'm a negativity when it comes to cherry lip balm, which changes the subject now about to something else. And this, we actually had a lot of people in the commercial break talking about it. I'll be jumping in the commercial in the live chat with you in just a second. And it is the beauty of buying watches for dollars at hand and why the watch is so good. I saw Ann, I saw Bob Bacon talking about watches. Watches, I want you to know right off the bat, should never cost you hundreds of dollars. It's just buffoonery, unless you are, a brand chaser. Watches out there now are so good from $10 down that you should really buy it. So this is a watch I got online from one of the major big box retailers. And I believe it was $9. If not, it was 10 or 11. How do you choose the right watch? Now, clearly the band is red, and it is a rubber. I knew that ahead of time. So what you want to know, first of all, when you're buying the watch, is what is the band? Is it leather? Is it faux leather? Is it rubber? Don't run from rubber. Rubber is great. Rubber is your friend. Rubber lasts forever. It doesn't stretch. It doesn't discolor. It is great. So this is red. This is a red rubber. I liked it. Number two, focus on what's going on the end of the band, because the end of the band is often very critical. Because will it scratch up, will it fall apart? Focal on that as well. A lot of people like, sort of the center of the watch, but don't look outside the watch. So here we had a lot of bling. But what's different about this watch is there was actually 4 or 5 others in the same retail at the same time. And I like this one because the bling went all the way to the center and it was a lot more consistent than the other ones. Bottom line is that there's some bling that looks insanely fake, and there's some bling that makes sense, and I chose this one, and I'm very happy with my selections. Here's another watch, which has been dented by me. I had this for many years. I think I paid $10 for this one. Now this one is the true epitome of why a watch works, because look how many years it's been around, and it is really still in great shape. It looks exactly how I bought it. It is clearly a steel construction. It's not gold, and it has a little bit of bling in here, but not a lot, and has lasted really well. Now, when you're going for the leather bands or faux leather, you're gonna have problems. You're going to have problems because they ultimately do break. So here is one that I bought in a very popular part of Los Angeles called the Santee Alley, Santee Alley. If you live in Los Angeles, you've never gone there, you need to go there. And they have a lot of great watch stores. I did not get this in the alley itself, but off of the alley. It's a store that I've been going to for many years. And they had a case in there where they had, I think they're $15 watches. So these were all clearance watches. I bought this maybe 4 years ago. And you see, when I bought it, the things were off, and I knew they were off. That's why it's cheap. Actually, I think I paid $12. So it was missing this. It was missing the time doesn't count. But I wanted to watch on the band. The band stays together. It has stayed together. It lost one thing down here. It is still together. But look how well made it is. Even when I'm holding on up to this camera, it just looks better than a lot of stuff. And this is a well-functioned watch. Don't be focusing on whether it keeps time. Don't be focused on the buttons. Focus on how it looks from afar. So imagine when I bring it back this far, look how good it looks. It does not have particularly a lot of bling. You're looking in close. Things are off center. Things are crooked. Don't matter, because no one looks at a watch really that close. Don't worry, things are off center. Don't worry, things are. This is for street vendors. Don't worry, things are off center. Don't worry, things are crooked. So long as from afar it looks good and it lasts. What you're doing when you're buying watches, whether it's online like this one or far, is you're trying to get a watch that is cheap, that lasts, and looks the way you bought it for as many years to come. I got to tell you, I think this one is going to last many years to come. Why? Now, here's a very interesting trick. Notice all this bling in here. I don't know if I can do this for you on camera because it's going to be sort of difficult, but let's pull in really close. It's really flat. It is pushed into the surface of the watch. So you go out and you bang the watch against the wall. No, you're not going to lose anything. Nothing is going to fall off the watch. The problem with some watches is they put a lot of stuff that is raised off the surface and things fall off. Uh, I have been the victim of watches or jewelry where things just fall off because they're on the surface. Try to get things where they're all sort of sunken or flat. So no matter how much you bang your arm or hit things or trip or fall or press or, press against something, that it still stays together. Let me jump in the live chat right now and see some of your incredible questions across the board. Bob Bacon says, I got a watch at a hookah shop. I've seen that as well. I've seen hookah shops have a lot of great products. Great comment, Bob. Let's see some more of the critical comments. I had a choice of the three to choose from. I like it, says Kim Rose. Thank you, Kim. Let me see some more of the comments. I have a watch that depicts the Bronco chase. Bob Bacon. I don't know if I want to wear this. There's Charlotte. I love LALATE. Don't get sick again. You're needed. Well, thank you, Charlotte. I really appreciate that. There is Georgia who says, here's Georgia. And Georgia says, I have a Georgia Bulldog watch. There you go. I love it. There's Kim. I just got a Fitbit watch. My insurance pays for it. Oh, wow. There you go. So we learn something every day. Your insurance may pay for a particular watch. Very interesting. Stephanie G says silicone. I think she's referring to the band. She says the silicone bands are awesome. Yeah, anything that really endures itself is really wonderful. So really great. That is a great comment. Let's see some more of the comments. We're going back to the chapstick. Marcia says, I use chapstick cake batter. Delicious. Cake batter. Yeah, I think that's in the dessert selection. So Marcia uses chapstick, but in cake batter mode. That I think I've seen that one. There's Anne. I have a Minnie Mouse knockoff watch. There you go. Georgia Peach. I have so many watches, but not enough arms. I love that. There is Margaret. I have a bicentennial watch. There's Chef Roberto. My Santa Monica friend. It was Chef Roberto's 62nd birthday. Well, everyone wish Chef Roberto Hellman in the live chat a happy 62nd birthday. And I think he got a watch for his Christmas. I think he sent me a DM. If I'm very, very nebulous, very trying to remember something very obscure, but I think Chef Roberto got a watch for Christmas. Either that or cell phone. I remember seeing it. So everyone offer Chef Roberto a beautiful, happy birthday in the live chat. And Mudrunner saying Santee Alley, don't even know it. So there you go. Anne is from Southern California. I know Bob Bacon is, and a lot of people don't know about Santee Alley. And what you do, you'll never leave. You will never leave. And it is a lot of fun. Cookie and cream chapstick is delicious, says Anne. So I have used that one, and that was do I have it? Oh, I think I have it right here. Here it is right here. Oh no, I have marshmallow. So cookie and cream, I think, is sold in marshmallow, and cookie and cream, I think, is over into sort of the moistury, creamy, white chapsticks. It's really very helpful. A lot of people like it. I cannot wear watches. They stop. I have too much electricity, says Teresa. That's hysterical. Mitch McConnell, he has a watch. Does Mitch McConnell have a watch? Of course Mitch McConnell has a watch. It does not keep track of time. It loses track of time. And it's still showing 2 years ago. So you're looking for your stimulus. Mitch McConnell can't keep track of stimulus. Joe Manchin, he has a watch. It runs on coal. It runs on coal. And Ron Klain, he has a watch. It rings every time the progressive calls, and every time that a moderate Democrat calls Ron Klain's office at the president's chief of staff offices in the White House, it sends everything to voicemail. So there you go. Someone else said their watch is paid for by their medical insurance. You learn something every day, don't you? Really? You learn everything every day. Here is that Marcia? Yeah, Marcia saying, like your hair. Thank you. I'm happy with it today as well. I'm surprised by it, actually. I think yesterday was a little bit better. I was a little rushed this morning, but I'm very surprised by my hair. So it's good now. It'll get worse, and then it's going to get better. So there we go. There is Stephanie. I got a free G-Shock watch for my husband's Marlboro's rewards. It's amazing. So there's a lot in that message. Her husband, I guess, smokes and likes Marlboros, but she got a free watch out of that. So there you go. Really incredible. Any watch for free is a great watch, says Stephanie. I have banana flavored lipstick, says Georgia Peach. Wow, that sounds wonderful. See how great our live chats are. We got banana peach, stuff your lips, and then we have Minnie Mouse watches all going on in the same chat at the same time. And there's someone that's going to jump in live chat saying, "Where's my stimulus check?" Stop it. We're talking about banana lips and Mickey Mouse on our wristband. Chef Roberto, I have a Three Stooges watch. Wow, that's incredible. Now, here's a topic which I should have prepared for on camera for watches, but I'm going to throw it in right now. We're only at the 35-minute mark. I don't want to go over too overtime. But if you're a person like me that likes to interact a lot when they go out, I often wear something on the wrist after the watch. What the world is he talking about? What is he talking about? Let me go over that with you right now. Let me jump out of the live chat so I make sure I have this in frame. Here I am. So when I'm wearing a watch, I want to make sure I don't hit the microphone. Okay, when I'm wearing the watch, I often wear something after the watch, but heading toward the fingers. So I often wear a band after the watch. Why? The watches will get banged up if you having dinner with friends, or you're going to the market. The watch will bang up. So what I often do is I often wear something after the watch on the wrist. So let's do it this way. Watch is here. Then after that, I often wear something smooth, not metally, so that it's cottonish. And what am I going with? Bands, wristbands, cuffs that are soft and cotton or leather. They're soft. Why do I do it? It protects the watch. I'm very big on protecting what I'm wearing, so that by the end of the night, it's still there. It's still there. So if you have a Kristen Sinema watch, you may not want to wear protection, so that falls apart by the end of the night. That's how we do it. So if you have a Kristen Sinema watch, don't protect it. Just let it run its course. It's sort of like a marathon, and it will be gone by the end of the night. Now, if it's something you want to protect, then absolutely protect it across the board. Another message which is very important is I don't wear jewelry too close to the watch, because sometimes it bangs each other off. So if you have a watch down here, don't wear too much jewelry right above it if you think that going like this or going like that is going to bang one against the other. You'd be shocked how you can scratch up your possessions because you put them too close on the same hand or the same arm. Be careful of that across the board. There you go. We had a lot on the show. Coming up in less than 20 minutes is Afternoons LALATE at 1 o'clock. Then we have a brand new LALATE, Afternoons LALATE at 3 o'clock. We have a brand new Evenings LALATE at 5 o'clock. And then we have... we have a big slate of programming tonight. If you're watching this late in the day, you have a whole slate of programming on evenings. Brand new Evenings LA at 5 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock, Evenings Countdown. 7 o'clock, Home Screen Stimulus, which might be when you're watching the show. And then at 8 o'clock, Evenings Extra. Our overnight shows at 9, 10, and 11:30. And then we return tomorrow morning with more shows across the board. I'll be with you with new shows all weekend long. We have a lot of fun, a lot of excitement to endure. And remember, read my lips, more stimulus. And with that, I want you to subscribe to the fastest growing channel there is and the number 3 most watched broadcaster for financial news in America. It's LALATE. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. A lot of shows, and coming up next, if you're watching this live, is Afternoons LALATE at 1 o'clock. This video will automatically take you there. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day, and stay with LALATE for more.